Good evening, BSG. I am the DM Panda, and I'm going to be your host for the upcoming couple of hours. So I've got a couple of incentives that have just opened up in Lara Croft and the Guardians of the Light. We have a costume choice between Biker, Doppelganger, and Normal. In Code Vein, we have a character model choice between 2B from Nier Automata, Junko from, I'm gonna murder this name, but Danganronpa, Rim from The Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, and Ruby from RWBY. But without any further ado, I'm going to hand it over to the runner for the upcoming game, Rasschla, with Winnie the Pooh.
Well, thank you, the DM Panda. Welcome everybody. We are going to do Pooh and Tigger's Honey Safari, something different than Harry Potter, of course. And this game was released on the Game Boy. So it has beautiful graphics and it has a terrible audio. So let's just get started. We are going to play it in English because language doesn't matter. And time starts when I press New Adventure. So I will do a countdown in 3, 2, 1, go. Well, this is Pooh and Tigger's Honey Safari, and it has a little bit of a storyline. Not much, but I can assure you it has a storyline because it's Thursday today, and I don't just make this up. It's actually Thursday in the game, and Pooh and Tigger, they were just talking to each other and they were like, well, it's Thursday, so we actually need to throw a party for all our friends. But for a party, we actually need some honey. And do you know what Tiggers can do best? They can do best collect honey, of course. So Tigger is going to collect honey, and that's basically what we are going to do. And as you could see already in the beginning, we could the first level is really easy. Like, you have 5 honey pots. They are basically in the way, and if you miss them, yeah, it's not a big deal. But for some reason they made the first level really easy, and then the rest of basically starting from the 3rd level, it starts to be a little bit of a maze. You need to search for the honey. It's scattered all over the level, and you just need to make sure that you find it all. And besides some honey, you also need sometimes to find a key. And there's also I believe it's some kind of pineapple. Well, I don't know what's the English word for it. Some kind of apple that you can collect, which gives you enough. It restores a little bit of your health, and you also have another thing from a tree. I have no clue what the name of it is, of course, but it's basically compared to the invisibility star from Mario. So you can just keep walking around and you won't take any damage, which isn't actually anywhere used in the route as far as I know. And that's basically the whole game. Well, it's not the whole game. There's one more part, but I will explain that as soon as we are getting there. Because we still need some honey. I just hope that I didn't forget one. 11 out of 11. That's a really good one. And now we are actually going to the second part of the game, which is the boss fights. Because after every world, basically, you get to play as Pooh, because Pooh needs to make sure that the bees are not going to steal the honey, because we need those honey for our party, of course. And I just tried to hit most of the bees from without seeing them. And yeah, it works around most of the time. And something that you also might have seen is that there was one level where we didn't even collected any honey. That was just basically it was the level where we need to find rabbits, because there are some mini games in this game. I've never played the mini games in this game. But you unlock them. You unlock them by actually playing those levels. Find your friends, and then you can play one of those mini games. And you have 3 people that you need to find in certain levels, which are Piglet, Owl, and Rabbit, basically. But someone that's also in the game is Eeyore, which is also my co-commentary, who is sitting right beside me. And he can also explain a little bit about this game. So take it away, Eeyore. Just tell the viewers just a little bit of what we are doing at the moment.
Very interesting, Eeyore. Do you mind if I just butt in for a second, Eeyore?
Sure, go ahead, Panda.
Yeah. We have a €15 donation from Wired Wiki. Thanks to Zeta and Killer Chair for letting me co-commentate with Boxmeister for this amazing run. Also, thanks to Ras for hosting during this. Grats on the sub 2. We've fixed schedule, right? Right. Thank you very much, Wired Wiki.
Yeah, they did a really good job in fixing the schedule, actually. So, a question that I get more often than I like is, why do you speedrun this game? How did you actually got this game? Did you play this in your childhood? Well, that's actually a really funny story, because I never owned this game as a child. Basically, I bought it in 2018 or something like that, because a good friend of mine, and also a person pretty much known to the BSG community, Interact Pack, he wanted to race with me Harry Potter Quidditch World Cup, and I had never played that game before, even though I'm kind of known for my Harry Potter speedruns. I never played that game, so I wanted to buy it, and I found a website where I could buy it, but the game was like €2 or something like that. And then I was searching for a different game. Well, I found Lord of the Rings: The Return of the King for the PC, and then I was at like €4, and I believe I needed to be at least €6 before they would even send the games to me. Like, it had a minimal requirement. So I was just looking through the Game Boy games, and I saw a game called Pooh and Tigger's Honey Safari, and I checked it out. It's basically all that I could find on YouTube was just the first level, and I was like, well, that game looks easy, it looks fun, let's just buy it. And well, here we are sitting playing Pooh and Tigger's Honey Safari, and for the longest time I had actually the world record of this game, but then people got a little bit interested in it. and they actually have beaten my time, and I think I'm third at the leaderboards right now. Also, that was my time of the last run that I've actually done of this game on stream, which was doing BSG 2019, I believe. Which was actually a really fun run to do at that point. Let's just hope that I don't miss any honeypots at this point. Like, the further you get into the levels, the more difficult they become. But I know this is the last one. It's now just very important that I don't die. Because if I die, I get sent back to the last spot that I save, which could be or the beginning of the game, the beginning of the level, or the end of the level, or somewhere where there's a sign with an arrow. And this is, by the way, the only skip that I a little bit found, where you basically don't go the intended strat. And I also call it just key skip, because there's a key involved, but it doesn't help if you fall down, of course. And also a little bit of a, if you play this game casually and you have a little bit issues with some of the jumps, which I had when I was playing this for the first time. I'm actually going to, okay, I'm just going to die here because I don't like my health and there's still a little bit of a little part to go. But if you try to jump, you don't always make the jumps. And something that I do is I also press B during my jumps, because they extend basically your jump at that point, and it's very useful. And some jumps aren't even possible without using B. So if you have troubles with this game, basically just use B and you extend your jumps. So we found Owl. Tigger's always so happy when he finds his friends. And this is actually the first and one of the few levels where I actually abuse death warping to basically get back to the beginning of the level, because it basically speeds up from, like, it's faster to do than actually do whatever I need to do to go back. So this is the one that I wanted, and then I die. And we are back because we needed to actually backtrack at this point, basically to this spot, to just keep going to the right. We are now, most of the levels have something to do with the seasons that you have in the year. And we are now in the autumn. Isn't there a honeypot here? No, there isn't. There's one here that I, in my practice, liked to forget more often than I actually wanted. So here are the last two honey pots, and now I'm just going to step in the spikes. I'm sorry for people who love Tigger. I love Tigger, but it's just for like, he understands that we do this for marathon purposes. And I'm going to fight the bees again, so I don't know if the host has something to say.
Yeah, well, Tigger knows we've got to go fast. You know, he's all about going fast. But, yeah, you are watching the BSG Annual. We organise bi-monthly gatherings in Benelux for speedrunners. But due to the current events with COVID-19, we're doing all our events online for the time being. This event features streamers from both the Benelux and, like me, from the rest of the world. If you want to participate in any events similar to this, we highly recommend checking out UKSG, UKSG is an event normally held in Glasgow 4 times a year, supporting Crisis, and they are currently also doing their events online at the moment.
Well, thank you, Panda. And now we get to the very scary caves. That's actually the name of this level. And these levels are actually... this is a scary level because it's just such a big maze. And if I get off track of the route at all, I actually get lost at this point, and then I have to just search around the whole level just finding that one honey pot. So yes, I can actually agree with the developers of this game. It's just a very scary level where I get lost more often than I actually would like. I just take here a small death warp. I should be having more than enough lives. Like, I still have 8 lives, and I'm actually not planning on dying that many times, to be honest. And Tigger, something that Tiggers don't do best is actually dying. So let's not do that. I need this platform actually. As you can see, I need to go back all the way to the beginning, because Eeyore, my co-commentary, he's just waiting there for me to give him all the honey that I found in this level. I don't know why Eeyore is standing there, but I love it. Eeyore is actually my most favorite character from Winnie the Pooh. That's why I have a big plush of Eeyore behind me and as a co-commentary, because Eeyore is just best in my opinion. So I take here a lot of damage because there is just one key that I need to grab right here, and then I need to go back all the way to the beginning. But that's a long walk, something that I don't want to do, so we just take the death right there. I don't know if the current world record does it, but I like my own route. I like this route. It has been a route that I've done since the beginning, and it's just a great route. I would almost call it the best, but then I wouldn't take myself seriously anymore after that. That spider likes to hurt me a lot lately. And here I just, if I stand on this little bit edge, I get just a little bit higher than normally, and I can get back on that platform, which saves me doing another backtrack, which I'm always happy about because I don't like backtracks. Yeah, for the rest, there's this fun ghost guy who's a little bit funny, and something that I haven't mentioned yet, but yeah, the platforms in this level are interesting in my opinion. Like, they have some weird collisions. Sometimes it doesn't look like at all that you can stand on them, and you just stand on them. I don't know how they exactly work, and at this point I'm too afraid to ask how they are actually work. Yeah, the game audio, it's, yeah, I have actually my speakers on a little bit low because, yeah, it really feels like a Game Boy game if you are just this audio. And we are back at Pooh doing defeating the bees at the honey. And as long as the bees don't get 5 of the honey, I'm happy, and you don't die before that. They can pop your balloon, but there are enough balloons. There are infinite balloons. And actually, I get, so far as I know, the spawning of the bees is just completely random, and I'm pretty sure of that because I never get the same patterns. Also, a fun fact about that: I once have seen somebody who put an whatever he called an official run of this game on YouTube, where he stated that he had actually, hi Eeyore, he had actually the world record of Pooh and Tigger's Honey Safari, but I'm pretty sure that that run is cheated, just because of this boss fight with the bees, because he knew already where those bees were coming, so I'm pretty sure that something was not right at that spot. And he never actually submitted it to the leaderboard, so
it's not official until it's on the leaderboards.
True. And I'm pretty sure that all the mods on the leaderboards, which is actually only me, can agree with me that there was something funny about that one. But yeah, we are now actually already in our last world, which is the winter world. And in this winter world, we actually find one of my closest friends, who definitely deserves a shout out, because he was, I believe, on Tech the last time that I did this run, which was actually also my PB run, which is Frosty the Snowman. Because as you could see, there was a snowman, and we will see the snowman more often. So I want to give a shout out to Frosty to just be this amazing guy that he always is. And
Frosty's awesome.
Frosty's really awesome, and I like, and I just love it that he is in one of the games that I started to love. So this is also the last level to unlock a mini game. We need to find we need to find Piglet, and Piglet is at the end of this level, and I have the feeling, oh wow, I actually want that health if I don't want to die. Frosty, don't throw rocks at me, thank you. But yeah, we basically need to find Piglet, but I don't think Piglet actually wants us to find him, because here at the end of the level, I'm going to be a little bit carefully. There's coming a rock, and there's Piglet. Piglet has thrown that rock at us, and I'm not for sure, but I think we have another donation. Host? Panda?
Sorry, my computer decided to be strange today. Yes, we have a €30 donation from Anonymous. So, thank you very much, Anonymous.
Thank you, Anonymous. Yeah, but,
and can I quickly just push a couple of incentives that are coming up for runs really soon?
Sure, go ahead. Well, I'm searching for a key, which I forgot.
Yeah. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, we have the costume choice for Lara Croft and the Guardians of the Light, and that's between Biker, Doppelganger, and Normal. And we also have a Light vs Dark ending choice for the Star Wars The Force Unleashed. And for Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, we have a choice, and we can unlock the Guywood Threepwood costume. That is a €100 goal, and €20 has been put towards that.
I found my key, by the way. It was just here to the right.
Those pesky keys.
Yeah, I should have actually talked to Pooh there, because if I would have talked to Pooh already, basically it would have meant that if we die again, where I'm going to play it very safe now, because as you can see, I'm on only 1 health left. We would spawn immediately at Pooh again, but it's fine. I hope. Like, Pooh should be straight down here. Oh boy. Okay. Just make these jumps. Okay, we did it. We didn't die, and time is coming up actually pretty soon, because this is the last time that we are going to fight these bees. So the moment that I that I beat the last bee, it's basically time. So one Tex, I believe he's still on tech. He get ready on that a little bit. Yeah, this was actually the last one of mine at this BSG Annual. I enjoyed them, so I'm really thankful for BSG that I was actually able to show off my free runs. I'm thankful for all the hosts that I had. They did an amazing job, and also Panda, you also did an amazing job. And last but not least, I want to thank Eeyore for being co-commentary, because this game is so hard to commentate by yourself, and that's time, by the way. And hooray for Tigger and Pooh, and I want to say to you all, happy Thursday, and thank you very much for having me at this BSG Annual.
Let's all go to Pooh's party. Thank you very much for that awesome run, Rasschla. Just a reminder that we are raising money towards Mind, and we are getting closer to beating the donation total from last year's BSG Annual. So I would really love it if we could get some hype going and beat that total during my shift. But for the meantime, we're going to go to a quick intermission. And coming up soon is Super Inefficient Golf with Ulvind.